Hi, Nursing 720 students. I just wanted to go over the theoretical framework assignment as well as choosing theories for your project. So ultimately, our projects are really rooted in theory. All right, so if you're incorporating any kind of a change, like a change in policy or a change in the way things are practiced, you may want to look at Kurt Lewin's theory of change and see how the constructs of that theory really apply to your practice. If you're going to be working with nurses and they're from the very beginning to the very end stages of their career, or the very beginning of an educational segment to the end of their experience, their educational experience that you might be implementing, you may want to look at Patricia Bunner's novice to expert theory. So there's so many theories out there, and you can explore all different kinds of nursing theories as well as other theories that you might find very applicable to your project. So this is sort of a time to really bring in what you've learned during your bachelor's degree, what you've learned during your master's degree. Maybe just going to Google Scholar or Googling nursing theorists. Several of the more popular ones will obviously populate, but if you're doing any kind of, a model of improvement, quality improvement, you might find some theories there as well. So really the sky is the limit. I welcome all different kinds of theories. Just make that connection of the theory to what you're doing. So look at the constructs of that theory and see how you can plug the constructs in with what you're doing for your project. So for this particular assignment, and really when you're developing your project, you really should have a couple of different theories that you're incorporating, not just one. So I want you to identify at least 2 theories that you would believe to be relevant to your project. And in order to hit this proficient category, so you're going to identify the 2 theories. You're going to clearly define them. All right, so that way don't just assume that I know what the theories are. I want you to really give some detailed information about that theory. Okay. You're going to use relevant citations to support the frameworks that you've included. And then I want you to tie in how this theory connects with what you are doing for your project. And so that is basically the organization component. Obviously, with formatting, we're really looking at that APA formatting. So if you have questions about APA, go ahead and refer to your APA manual. We also have the Writing Center, which is a fabulous resource. And then, of course, make sure that it's professionally written. I just wanted to bring your attention up here, too, that make sure that you provide an introduction to the relevance of applying your theories that you've selected. So think about the theory and the underpinnings of the theory and how it applies to your project. Really making that connection is really important. And then, of course, use scholarly references. So obviously, you're going to want to use the original work of the theorist. So you might have a theorist, for example, Patterson and Zerad's theory of humanistic nursing was developed in 1976. So I went back to 1976 and pulled Patterson and Zerad's original works. So you're going to, this is one of those times when you can really go outside the confines of making references within the last 10 years. If need be. So those older theorists, you're going to really go back to those primary resources. So, if you have questions about that, don't hesitate to contact me. But this is really kind of the foundational precept, if you will, of your paper, looking at that theory. And it's kind of fun to really pick apart the theory and plug in how it relates to your project. So as far as paper length, I know a lot of people always ask, well, how long does it have to be? It really kind of depends upon the theories. For example, I had given you the humanistic nursing theory has several constructs, like 6 constructs. So obviously by identifying each of those constructs, it's going to take longer than Kurt Lewin's theory, which has 3 constructs. All right, so it really kind of depends upon the theorist and then how it connects to your paper. So I don't have a specific page length. Just make sure that you're basically covering those theories in detail and making those connections of how the theory applies to your project. That's all I can really offer from this point. There's no specific page length. It's just however many pages it takes to reach that goal. So if you have questions about the theoretical framework or selecting theories for your paper, or for your project, let me know. You can also discuss this with your chair as well. Your chair will have a pretty good idea about your project and certain theories that they might already be thinking about that would be applicable to your project. But I'd really like for you to start first with your own research. Don't go directly to your chair and say, okay, what are some theories that I can use? Have some already available and say, hey, I was thinking about using this theory. What are your thoughts on this? You may want to give your chair some information about those theories too, because he or she may not be familiar with them as well. So I hope that answers your questions about this assignment. And this assignment is going to be due at the end of Module 3. So I believe that is October 7th. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.